Robert Englund here, a.k.a. Freddy Krueger, and you're listening to Toxic Radio. Check it out or die slow.
Welcome to the Cinescape podcast, where we're changing the landscape of movie and TV news. Happy Super Bowl Sunday to you football fans out there. Obviously, you guys are checking out our pregame show instead of the TV preview show there. So get ready to strap yourselves in, put on your jock straps, and knuckle up, because we're going to be throwing around some football-related movie top 10 lists a little bit later. We have a lot of stuff to cover today, so let's start it off. Bill, how the hell are you?
I'm doing well. How the hell are you, Sean?
I'm doing great.
On this Super Bowl Sunday, man.
Now, I don't know if we're actually allowed to say Super Bowl. Ooh. It's on Fox this year.
We're on Fox later today. Brought to you by Qdoba. No Qdobas are in the greater South Jersey region, but keep watching as Toyota moving forward. And don't forget Nutella. Host your Super Bowl party with Nutella. This and more on NFL on Toxic.
All right. So, yeah, we just officially signed those sponsors. They're ringing off the hook now.
See, that's the way we're going to build sponsorship, is we just automatically name them as sponsors. They'll just be like, oh, hey, since you obligated us, we're here, I guess.
I guess we got to do it. They already name dropped us.
Yeah.
Well, one sponsor that we actually do have, today's show is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial by visiting www.audibletrial.com/the Cinescape with over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. So, as we were just saying, we have lots of movie, TV stuff to go over. Phenomenal. We have not one, but two special guests calling in very shortly. One which will be a familiar one to you if you are a follower of the show. Her name is Ashley V. Robinson, and her husband, Jason Inman, will also be on the line with her. They're going to be talking about their new comic they have coming out called Jupiter Jet, so we'll interview them about that and some of the other things that we have on our minds. And I also have a very, very, very special announcement that I'm going to make. Maybe we'll save it till later on in the show. It's something that's coming up next weekend. I'm going to a different state. I get to meet and interview a certain somebody for a certain movie that's coming out. And I'm going to leave it there for now. We'll come back to that one. And we also have a contest that we're going to be announcing later on in the show as well. So you're going to want to stick around for the end of this show, because we have a lot of really cool things to go over. Bill, let's before I throw it over to you, Michael, can you bring up our soundboard, please?
Oh,
you got rid of it.
What the hell did I do?
Session timeout. What does that mean?
Oh, Jesus.
PC load letter. What the fuck does that mean?
What is going on? All hell is breaking loose. I'm going to come over to you guys on the table and fix this real fast.
Real fast.
Oh my God.
Better be real.
All right,
real
so
fast.
we are going to first. What do you got? Ooh, is this new?
We're jumping right in here.
This is a football-oriented show.
Football Sunday. We're jumping right into it. Let's get right into it. TV icon Mary Tyler Moore passed away last Wednesday.
I'm not laughing that she died. I'm not laughing
at the age of 80. Best known for Dick Van Dyke. We have overlapping sound clips, but let's jump right back into it. Best known for Dick Van Dyke and the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Moore won 5 Emmys during her career as an actress. And actor John Hurt also passed away just 2 days later at the age of 77. These two iconic television and movie stars screened the cinema for decades, and now They leave us behind only their legend as we fade away here. Fade into the golden night.
This is the most upbeat death story that I've ever heard in my life.
Well, we had
Come out of a goddamn death dedication with an upbeat.
we had to save it there for you, Mike. So I don't think we could have started off TV Buzz any better.
It was meant to happen that way.
Right.
It was meant to.
Mary Tyler Moore probably, on her deathbed wanted to have her, have her obituary and legend status always screened to the Equalizer theme song from NFL films. What's that?
It's Weezer.
That's it.
Buddy Holly.
It's not,
That is
I like how he looked at me like I was doing
Yeah, it was me.
I thought you were doing it, yeah.
Come on, I specifically cut it for this story.
Oh, okay.
It's like, are we going into a music break? What's going on
Yeah,
here?
because they say
All right,
Tyler
well,
Moore.
why don't we should we restart, do the Buzz clip, and then go, and we'll do... Okay. All right.
Well, we're not going to reread the same story.
I think we should reread it.
All right, go ahead.
Well, maybe we should read it in an accent.
Ooh, accents are fun.
What kind of accent should I do?
Norwegian.
Who does a Norwegian accent? TV icon Mary Tyler Moore passed away last Wednesday at the age of 80. Best known for Dick Van Dyke and the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Moore won 5 Emmys during her career as an actress. Actor John Hurt also passed away 2 days later at the age of 77, not related in any particular way.
But
We've
you're
now
wearing,
just offended an entire country.
But you're wearing lederhosen.
Lederhosen.
And Kjörgen Jürgen from the Fjörgen Fjords.
Schwing. Schnurgen.
So yeah, it's
Yeah,
in a roundabout way, a sad way to start off our show there. Rest in peace to those two iconic actors.
Well,
Yeah.
see you later.
2017 started.
Well, see you later. You know.
Well, all right. Well, see you later.
Do you say that when you go to a funeral?
Yeah,
Like
well-
you walk up to the casket, you're like, oh, see you later.
Dead.
Oh my. Moving on. New details regarding Stranger Things season 2 have been revealed by actor David Harbour. He plays the cop on that
Right.
show. In a quote by him, he said, "It's a year later in the story, so there are several things that happened last year, like Will has come back. There are certain people in the town that know what happened, and then certain people that don't know what happened. So there's a lot of fallout with who knows what." So
you usually have people that know stuff.
yeah, sometimes
and
people
then-
know things, and then sometimes other ones don't.
Yeah,
So
and that can lead to a lot of confusion or confliction at times.
yeah, I mean, he said a lot without really saying anything there. I
Right.
feel so. Yeah, thanks, Dave. Did you see at the I think it was the SAG Awards last week? Stranger Things won some kind of award,
and
and Winona Ryder.
just fucking
Did you see?
Oh.
Did you see the little video that
Yeah,
somebody
with
made
the
the pizza? I don't know what
Brilliant.
she was looking at, but that was hysterical. Oh my
was she
God.
trying to be like in character or
I don't
something?
know. It looked like she
'cause-
was whacked out.
Yeah, I mean on the show she's all skitsy like that, but she looked like she was tripping on
Oh my God,
acid,
yeah.
like looking around like as if friggin' fairy dust was being thrown in her face. Who knows? Give me, I'll take what she's having.
Yeah, right.
But Fox has ordered a pilot for the new X-Men series in association with Marvel TV. Oh, that took me back 10 years.
Told you I had good sound
20
clips today.
years, yeah. Which will be written and executively produced by Matt Nix. The pilot, which will be directed by Bryan Singer, will focus on two ordinary parents who discover that their children possess mutant powers. Forced to go on the run from a hostile government, the family joins up with an underground network of mutants and must fight to survive.
Ooh,
Huh.
that's very wordy there.
That is.
Yeah, I guess it's pretty cool that Bryan Singer's going to be coming back. The last couple outings of the X-Men
That's
franchise.
all this guy does.
Yeah, I mean, they weren't the best. I didn't think Apocalypse was all that great, but he still does have that potential to bring something really cool to
Right.
a new series like this. No word on what the names of the mutants or anybody on the
Bob?
show. Yeah,
Bob
yeah.
Mutant.
It's I think Morph is going to be on
Morph
this one.
Mutant?
Yeah. So yeah, we'll have to stay updated on the casting news and which characters are going to be on there. But I think a smaller series like this, I mean, they're doing Legion comes out in a couple weeks too, and that's going to be a smaller story. You're not going to see familiar X-Men that you've seen in the movies or anything like that, but more of a self-contained story. Could be a good direction for a TV series to go like this. Not trying to be too broad or have anything, a big scope of things. So I'll definitely be checking it out. What do you think?
Yeah, it's worth a look.
Definitely.
NBC
has ordered a pilot for the new series titled, and you know what? I'm really angry about this. Before I finish this one, I'm really angry about this because shows ago, I actually coined this term.
Now, this really pisses me off to no end.
New show is a reboot of What About Bob, but it's called What About Barb. Remember when we were talking Stranger Things before?
Yeah.
And I said, what about Barb?
Yeah.
So that they took it away from me, and I'm not very happy about it. But yeah, this sounds really, really terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's a gender swap thing too. So the main character is going to be a chick instead of a dude. This just sounds like they're grasping at straws here. Like,
who are these people?
I don't know. Like, who thought of? Oh, you know what? Let's do a What About Bob series. Everybody's clamoring for that one. It's not been relevant in 25 years, and it's not like it was like an uber hit or anything. Just a small, stupid Bill Murray movie.
Right.
So I don't know if I'd even want to give this thing the time of day.
We've been, talking since since before the show has even come out that. Just how reboots, remakes, all this stuff, like everything is like such a stretch nowadays for an idea that originality is a concept.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's like these producers are just, it's like as if they're hitting their 5 o'clock Friday deadline and they're like, oh, I need an idea, and it's like, well, instead of Weekend at Bernie's, how about it's Weekend at Brenda's?
No.
Oh,
it's $1 million idea.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, you changed it from a guy to a girl. Oh,
it reminds
great.
me of,
I can keep my job for another week.
One of Jim Gaffigan's stand-ups where they're talking about Hot Pockets and they need a jingle. You need to come up with a jingle. Hot Pocket. That's genius. We need something for our Spanish viewers too. Caliente Pocket. So yeah, get ready to not watch What About Barb coming up sometime soon.
Hey, Mike, could I get a little sound check here? Number two. The number two. Yeah, can you? Ooh.
Bill needs a number 2 right now.
Ooh, there's a little reverb. Bring it down one notch. That's good. That's good right there.
Is that good? Does that feel good?
Yeah, I can hear
Does
you.
that hit the spot?
Ooh, the reverb.
I don't know what's going on. I'm kind of scared.
It wraps around my cerebellum right now.
I'm going home.
My cerebellum.
I'm a little uncomfortable.
Oh, are you going to go ride home on your motorcycle there, Fonzie?
Might be attacked. What's going on here?
For a guy who came in late to the studio, he's just throwing insults.
He's got a lot of sass going on.
I'm full of sass.
You know why? It's because he's wearing a tie. He's like, I'm wearing a tie. I get to
what do you think? You're better than me?
Yeah.
He's got a tie. He's even got one of those clips on the tie. I've never worn one of those a day in my. What is
I thought you were gonna say it was a clip-on tie.
What was the name? What is the name? That does that have a little name? That little clip?
It's a tie clip.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Give it
genius.
It should have some
It's
other.
The same
name.
guy who came up with the Hot Pocket jingle.
Come in here with your tie clip.
Yeah, my tie clips and stuff. What do you got? You got some Hot Pocket or hot Topic chains on over there? Huh? What do you got?
Wow,
Oh, man.
Woo!
I can fire him back, baby.
See, Bill was taking steroids before the Super Bowl today, so
yeah.
he's all amped up.
Yeah.
He's
Is
raging.
that the pre-game this year?
If steroids means cocaine, then yes.
Is that coming back in? Is that
What, cocaine?
Is that a thing again?
What, did it ever leave?
I thought, in the 80s, it was like, woo!
Boo!
Every movie made was watched on a little bit of coke.
Well, I mean, yeah, absolutely. So, I mean...
Oh, Billy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I mean,
It's back.
All Avengers are done on cocaine. I mean, can I get a little volume on the aux cord? Yeah.
I feel like maybe, if not Bulk, definitely Skull was on cocaine.
Skull
'Cause
was-
he was always really high strung.
I mean, I'm looking at him right now. He's wearing like a Civil War hat, and he's got like a jacket like Mike over here has on.
That should be one of your things. Like, movies you know somebody had to be on drugs to have made.
Jean-Claude Van Damme apparently was coked out on like every movie he made in the 80s.
Well, I think anybody who like the Garbage Pail Kids movie. I know I bring that up a lot. I think,
yeah,
but
I think that's secretly your favorite movie.
I think it is because you look at it like Natural Born Killers. You had to have been on drugs to make that movie.
Well,
And it's great to watch it while you're on drugs.
Well, there's even you can.
We're not advocating drug use, kids.
Absolutely not.
We're just
but if
saying
we were,
sometimes it makes things fun.
Stay in school.
there's
You can tell Sean's the adult in the room.
Somebody's got to be.
there's lists out there of you could see movies that had sex scenes and
Ooh, where?
movies.
Where can we see that?
Where it was like real sex.
Where it was real sex.
Well, I know
yeah.
there wasn't there a movie called like Brown Bunny or something where the one.
I don't want.
Yeah.
I don't want to
it's-
imagine
where the-
what.
What's her face? Chloe Sevigny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she actually gives the guy oral.
Well, I think
in
it
the
was her
movie.
actual boyfriend, though.
Does that make it not? It was still in the movie though, right?
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
But you like something like that. You kind of want to like judge now, right? Like and critique. Be like, I don't know about that.
Well, it's always fun when I'm sitting there with a girl watching a movie and there's a sex scene, and then as a guy, I'm just into whatever's going on the screen, and as a girl, she'll
Got his
stand,
hand in his
she'll-
pocket.
She'll scream out, "Fake!" She goes, "There's no way she could sit at that angle and have that. Is the dick coming out of his belly button?" And she'll, just
He's got his umbilical cord still
I'm like, "You're
attached.
taking me out of the movie. Stop it."
Who are you watching movies with?
Oh, girls from Camden.
Girls from
Oh.
Camden? Girls that have never seen a penis before? Oh my god, that's so fake.
It's me and my mother
That's
watching
fake.
movies.
Ah,
All right, well, that's it for Mike there. And the adventures of Mike and his mom watching movies. Oh, man.
Mike, can you?
Yes,
Our guest said she called and nobody answered.
He's not really like paying
I'm
attention.
sorry. Yeah, I was talking to you guys. I apologize. I'll man the
All
phones.
right, well,
Sorry, Ashley.
we'll just play our filling music here while Mike gets everything together.
Anyway, we have one. We'll do this one quick story. So, breaking news here. Where is it?
Where's the breaking news?
Kevin Sorbo and
Hercules.
Terry Hatcher have been cast in recurring roles in the CW's Supergirl. So we
Love
have
Terry
Hercules and former Lois Lane joining the project here. Cool, I guess.
Cool.
I don't care. It's
Yeah.
Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah, 1996 is back.
The legend. What was it? The Legendary Journey? Is that what it's called? Hercules?
Yeah, something bullshit.
Stupid like that. Yeah, I never got into that. But Terry Hatcher, I mean, that's kind of cool that she's coming back as a former Lois Lane onto a Superman, Supergirl type show.
Yeah.
I think there was something like Dean Cain had come out and said something about the casting too. I didn't read the article, but it's cool to get that Superman lineage legacy kind of thing going on and paying it forward a little bit. So
yeah.
I mean, I've been watching Supergirl. It's really not all that bad. So I guess
Doesn't sound like it's really all that good, though.
I mean, it's middle of the road. It's something that you put on and pay attention to and kind of just hang out with. Maybe look at your phone a little bit and play around, play some games. But it's not bad. Are we all right to take our caller, Michael? No. Let me see.
Do they
see
have
what's
a Sprint prepaid card or anything that they can?
Maybe she should have dialed 10-10-3-2-1.
Yeah.
Is she on a Metro PCS?
Metro.
Well, as we're working on that, I still have yet one more story. This is a new upcoming Marvel TV show. Olivia Holt and Aubrey Joseph have been cast in Marvel's Cloak and Dagger series, which begins filming this month. A new synopsis for the show, set to premiere in 2018 on the Freeform channel, reads, described as a superhero love story, Cloak and Dagger is based on the titular comic book duo, also known as Tandy Bowen and Tyrone Johnson, who have appeared in Marvel Comics classics, including Spider-Man and X-Men stories. The live-action interracial romance follows the duo, two teenagers from very different backgrounds, who find themselves burdened and awakened to newly acquired superpowers while falling in love. Oh, I need a drink of water, and I'm still not done. Tandy can emit light daggers, and Tyrone has the ability to engulf others in darkness. They quickly learn they are better together than apart, but their feelings for each other make their already complicated world even more challenging. Jesus Christ, that was a long synopsis.
I stopped listening.
So the fact that this show is going to be on Freeform, formerly ABC Family, is kind of turning me off. I mean, I'm going to give it an episode or so to see how it is, but that whole teenage foofy kind of show is not really all that appealing.
You know, we should remind our viewership that today's the 5th, tomorrow's the 6th, and then following that on the 7th and 8th of February, it's the 25th anniversary of Wayne's World.
Ooh.
Returning to the movie cinematic theater once again. So you will have your chance to relive your childhood if you remember seeing that in the theater, or just getting to see it for the first time on the big screen. You can go check out the information on available theaters through RollingStone.com, or just use that fantastic thing called Google.
Zang. All right. Well, we have our caller issue situated here, so we are going to welcome former guest Ashley V. Robinson and our new guest today, Jason Inman. He also hosts DC's All Access. Jason, Ashley, thank you guys for calling in. How's it going today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm new and fresh out of the box.
Yeah, thanks so much for calling in, guys. We're very excited to talk to you. We know you have a project that you are going to be talking about, so why don't you talk a little bit about what that is?
Yeah, we have a Kickstarter out right now for our first 5-issue comic book miniseries called Jupiter Jet. It's about a 16-year-old girl who steals a jetpack and does what any 16-year-old girl does. She steals from the rich and gives to the poor. And it's an all-ages adventure comic book that we're very proud of, our first comic book miniseries, and we have it on Kickstarter right now at JupiterJetComic.com.
Okay, I'm actually gonna share that out right now on our social media. Jupiter
Thank
Jet.
you.
No problem.
Jupiter Jet. At first, Ashley, I thought I heard a 60-year-old, and I was like, oh wow, a 60-year-old finds a jetpack and.
That's volume 5.
Yes, and deals with the battles of Social Security. Just saying, it could be a nice spin-off. Maybe Jupiter Jet, ends up in an alternate reality universe and has to deal with their 60-year-old self. So that might be a nice.
Well,
twist.
I think that would be that wouldn't be as fun of a comic book to read, because I think all she's worried about is whether Matlock is going to air tonight.
Murder, She Wrote on it.
I have to get back for my stories.
So we're sending that out right now to the masses. But that's awesome. What else you got going on right now with the we know you got the webpage going on with the Geek History Lesson. What's going on with that? Any updates with that right now?
We're actually right about to hit our 150th episode on Geek History Lessons, so we're doing a very special lesson, and we're actually hoping that for anybody who listens to the Geek History Lesson Extra podcast, that they want to go to any of our pages and ask us, this or that, kind of like gun to the head, high stakes questions, so that we can answer them over there. That's kind of where Geek History Lesson is at. It's very exciting. We're going to talk about a big Batman-y type character that I've been looking forward to talking about for a long time.
Ooh,
nice. And, speaking of Batman, we wanted to actually bring this up to you guys with the whole Ben Affleck playing Batman, Batfleck. We wanted to ask you what your thoughts were with him now being out of the director chair of the Batman movie.
My thoughts are basically this. I think Ben Affleck made a smart move because I by no means have any illusions about playing Batman as being easy. I think wearing a suit sucks. I think it gets very sweaty, and I think it's hard to move around. And I think anybody in this world would have a challenge directing themselves as Batman. Also, I think it's a kind move on Ben's part because I don't think many of the gaffers on set want to be yelled at by Batman. I wouldn't.
I kind of do.
Yeah, okay, all right. Like, pick up that light, go over there. You know, I don't want that. But I don't know. I think it's a smart move that he said several times that playing Batman is very difficult for him. You have to get into the anger of the character and stuff like that. And I think that it's a smart move by him because he realizes that he's like, I don't want to sink the movie, or I don't want the movie to be anything less than excellent. And I want to make sure that somebody great can hold me to task as Batman.
And I think it's definitely a bummer that it's not going to be him directing because he's a great director.
Yeah, 100%.
I know everyone wants to be like, oh, but Live by Night. I think having one movie that's, kind of middle of the road in a really great career is not a failure.
I still like Live by Night, so.
And I think it's kind of silly that people want to paint it that way, but I think if he can't handle it for a number of reasons, and look, it would be tough for any of us who are speculating on this from home. I think it's better that he steps down now and we can find someone who can be part of the process. I say we as if I'm somehow involved. From the very beginning, who's not coming in halfway through or when they're done pre-production, so that it can really be someone's vision. And I hope that they get somebody who is as passionate and as skilled as Mr. Affleck to fill the role.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I think you both have a good understanding, and I was saying earlier to Sean here that I can understand his passion for such a role. I mean, it's a very iconic. You want to get it right, but as a whole, DC Warner hasn't gotten the whole universe down pat yet, like Marvel. And I think it's very smart business-wise too to step down because when Jason, like how you were talking about, being able to get into character, go back and forth, and having them be director and who wants to be yelled at by Batman. Some do, some don't. But at the same time, it's tough to come into a franchise like that and hit the nail on the head as the character. But we all know he's an accomplished director, but to be an accomplished director in the comic book world of movies, it's very tough, and it's even tougher in the Warner DC universe. And I think it's a smart move just to save face, because let's face it, if he were to do something, I'm not saying it wouldn't be terrible, but with how DC is handling stuff with Warner's, you don't want to set the guy up for any type of failure. And certainly, one wrong move could make him the face of failure for a franchise. And I think it's good that they shifted that responsibility away from him, just because it has been very muddy with these movies that DC has been coming out with lately.
Well, fair point. I do it, but everything in his official statement, this was his choice. He was the one. And if you read that statement too, you can kind of tell that he's kind of regretful about it. He really wanted to do it, and he's like, I just can't make it work. I will have a heart attack making this movie if I try this.
Yeah.
Batman's not worth a heart attack, contrary to popular belief.
But the flip side of this is that anybody that I always say the statement that anybody that brings up Warner Brothers having problems and stuff like that, creating a shared universe on screen is very difficult. And I just want to point out that we are at the same point for where Marvel solidified their universe, because Marvel, hit it out of the gate with Iron Man, kind of made us feel with Incredible Hulk, really didn't excite us at all with Iron Man 2, and then I thought nailed it with Thor 1, which was their fourth movie. Yeah. And I just want to point out that Wonder Woman coming up soon is their fourth movie, could be DC Universe's Thor.
That I agree there, but I think just with so many of the other movies that they have on their slate having so many problems, like with The Flash and all this Black Adam, Shazam stuff, it just sounds like they put too much on their plate all at once without really having the time to really think it out and get the process going. That
I want to come back and argue that a little bit. Flash has definitely had a lot of people come through the creative process.
Yeah, they've lost 2 directors.
I think DC is under a certain amount of pressure and a microscope now that other productions aren't. A lot of movies do cycle through a lot of directors and a lot of writers, and you only see one screenwriter get the credit on the final script. I just think because we're now in a time where superheroes are as big as they are.
The internet.
And the internet, you get to see more of the process than we ever saw before. And when Marvel was developing their Phase 1, there wasn't as much pressure. So I feel like people really want to say that DC is like struggling
imploding
in their pre-pro when it's actually I would say still within the fairly normal range of flip flopping. It's amazing a movie gets made at all, really.
See, but I think it's more self-inflicted though, because there's nobody saying that they have to make all these announcements. They want to do it to garner interest and get buzz going. But at the end of the day, like put a statement out that you're going to be doing this and focus on that. You don't have to announce Flash, Cyborg, Aquaman, Black Adam, Shazam coming up like 5-6 years down the line yet. Focus on what you're doing now and make it good.
I would argue that that's the standard now in that Marvel set that standard that you announce your slate well in advance. We have Star Wars movies announced for the next decade.
5 years.
We didn't need any of those either,
right.
but that's the machine, and that's the machine that you have to play with it now.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But if you're not doing it right, then maybe you should kind of pull back on that. I think Marvel has the formula
I would say that a movie
down.
that makes $100 million is doing it right, regardless of whether people like it or not.
Yeah, that's true. But the same can be said about Transformers. Yeah, so it's very unfortunate that he's not going to be doing that. Ben Affleck, I'm talking about. We want to see him directing because, like you said, he is such an amazing director with The Town,
and that's not
Argo.
to say that. That's not to say that like we couldn't see a future Batman movie directed by him. Like there's nothing to say that Batman 2 couldn't be directed by him. It's just that he just had to step away from Batman 1 because again, it's one of those things like. This will be the solo Batman film that will follow up the Christopher Nolan trilogy, and that's a high bar.
Oh, definitely. But the one thing that's like sticking in my craws about it is, he did all these talk show appearances like Conan, things like that, Jimmy Fallon, and he said he was doing it, and then he started backtracking on it a little bit, and then the quote that he said was that he's not going to do it if the script isn't good. And then he backed off of it altogether. So does that mean the script isn't good?
You know what? I don't know. That's an interesting statement that you stay with that. The only thing that I know is that it's not even finished. So, I don't know. I literally think that this is just Ben being like, I can't do all of these jobs.
Right.
And what is the job that I maybe think that I should step away from? I mean, he can't step away from Batman. And he was a writer first before he was a director. He won the Oscar for Good Will Hunting. So maybe at the end of the day, he's like, I'll have more fun writing the script than directing the script, and that's the one that I got to go.
And then another, like Chris Terrio was also co-wrote that script with him for Batman, and he also did Argo too. And so it kind of leads me to believe that he didn't have faith in his own writing partner as well because he didn't like what was being written.
Well, I don't know if it says that because I just think it says that again, like I just think he gave up the job that he realized would be the hardest.
But it might have been the thing too, or maybe they wrote a script and they didn't like it. So
yeah,
now
maybe.
It's going to go to it's going to go to rewrites. Like there's going to be at least 10 drafts of that before it hits the screen.
Oh,
anyway,
easily 10 drafts.
Yeah, we know Flash is getting a page 1 rewrite now too.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's tough, and it's tough to speculate on when you're not in the room.
Yeah. I mean, we can sit here and think what we're thinking all day long and talk about, but we're not a fly on the wall, so we're just postulating here.
So I mean, to piggyback that, since we see a lot of these, not too many bright spots in the DC universe right now. What would you say is a bright spot? What is a highlight for you when you're looking down the line at some of these movies? I mean, it could be anything. I just want to know what
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, okay.
Wonder Woman, 100% Wonder Woman. Every report coming out of that movie, everything is awesome. Patty Jenkins, Wonder Woman is Patty Jenkins' dream movie. If you can go back and you can find an interview with Patty Jenkins on her Oscar-winning movie Monster, and they asked her 10 years ago, they were like, if you could make any movie in Hollywood, what is the movie you would make? She answered Wonder Woman.
I also want to add on to that it's a big move for Warner Brothers DC as a company, because if you want to look at the preceding movies as through the lens of them being not successful, then this is a movie that stars a woman and stars a person of color, which is their fourth movie, and it's going to be 17 or 18 movies before Marvel gets to either of those. So if DC pulls this movie off, and if Warner Brothers pulls this movie off, it's going to be it's basically an ambassador of goodwill all on its own, and it's going to change people's perception of what they can do as a production company and what they can do within this franchise that I think could be really exciting.
I'm also really excited for Aquaman, just because I think Jason Momoa is freaking fantastic.
Yeah, I'm excited for Aquaman.
I love his attitude, and I think, like, if we can get a superhero movie with that type of attitude, and I like the look of everything they've shown so far. Like, I think that movie's going to be so different from everything we've ever seen, and it's just going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm really glad they decided to not go with the classic Aquaman blonde-haired, short blonde-haired look. That would be be a little silly.
Everybody in the universe is glad that they didn't go with that.
Jason, do you think this since Aquaman is now getting the build up right now, do you think this will prompt a Submariner character development for Marvel?
I would love to say yes to that. The problem with that is I believe Namor is owned by 20th Century Fox, and we know that 20th Century Fox hates everything to do with the Fantastic Four. So
I think it was
what was it? Iron Man? No, it was
who has the distribution rights for Hulk?
Universal.
Well, Marvel and Universal co-own them.
Yeah, I think Namor falls under that too.
But it was
Namor in that deal too. Oh, interesting.
I think it.
But it was Winter Soldier that we saw on
little
the
Atlantis thing on the map.
Yeah.
I think as long as he doesn't have his own, like with Hulk, as long as he doesn't have his own solo movie, he's allowed to be a part of it. But Namor is just something we haven't really gotten any definite answers to.
With Hulk, it's that Marvel can't make a movie with Hulk in the title without giving money to Universal.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he falls under that same umbrella with Universal as well.
Interesting. I would be surprised because Namor is a really tough sell. Like, at least with Aquaman, you can say Aquaman, and even if people are like, oh, it's the guy that talks to fish, like, people know Aquaman. Like, I could go to my mother and say Aquaman. She knows who he is. But if I say Namor, my mother is like, Gesundheit.
Yeah.
I also think a lot of people, like, in the nerd community like to associate Namor with mutants, which Marvel Cinematic Universe is obviously not going to touch with 10-foot pole.
Right. But, I mean, you can get around that the way they did Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, too.
Yeah, true.
That's true.
If Aquaman hits big, yeah, you can guarantee that Namor movie will be, like, fast-tracked.
And who knows, maybe we'll be getting Fantastic Four coming back soon with the way that's gone.
That'd be great.
I've heard some people have some theories out there that they think that Marvel Phase 4 is going to be all about the Fantastic Four, and that 20th Century Fox has
a Sony deal.
Has a Sony deal like with Spider-Man.
I think they do too, because you're getting getting these new X-Men TV shows coming out. So they obviously had to give them the rights to be able to do that. You have Legion coming out very soon, and then Bill and I a little bit ago were just talking about the new X-Men series coming out with Bryan Singer's directing the pilot. So there has to be some kind of reciprocation going back and forth. If they're not just going to let up these TV rights for nothing. And Fox is just sitting on Fantastic Four and not losing money on it.
Yeah,
so
there's
they're
too much
to do
money out there
with
to be made.
Yeah, especially when they feel like, because I think Spider-Man Homecoming is going to hit big.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I can't wait for that.
I mean, Spider-Man is the setup right now for post Infinity Wars, where that's the next phase right there. It's going to be Spider-Man. It's going to be Captain Marvel. We're going to get a whole new slew of characters that... it's gonna pass the torch, and I mean, face it, Spider-Man is the top selling, for merchandise of any Marvel character. I mean, he's the face of the franchise. So to have him, young now in the titular role is, ideal. So when, in a few more years, when we pass Infinity Wars and, he's all grown up, it's a whole new platform of Marvel movies to be established there. And if we are lucky enough to at that time to have Fantastic Four, weaved back into the storylines, it's just going to be great at that point.
Agreed.
Awesome.
I want to get back to Jupiter Jet while we still have you guys. So what was the inspiration behind that? Where did that idea come from?
So about a year and a half ago, Jason and I were out having lunch together, and I said, I have an idea for a comic, but it's just the name, and it's Jupiter Jet. What do you think? And he immediately was like, oh, that's great, but here's how we could actually do that. And threw out a bunch of really cool ideas, and we started brainstorming and writing furiously on our iPhones like you do. And we had got all the details like, oh, it's a redheaded girl, and she has a jetpack, and she has a little brother who's really, really smart, and he has a cat. And almost everything that we came up with is featured pretty heavily on our Kickstarter and actually made it into the first issue. And, that's kind of the genesis of this, half-baked idea that I had and how it came to life.
Yeah, it was like a perfect collaboration almost. It was just a lot of fun.
Oh, that's like what we do here. We just have a lot of fun, too.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sometimes we're drunk when we have fun.
I know. We didn't get drunk today, and I'm a little sad
and
about
it's Super Bowl Sunday, Hey, real quick, are you guys watching the Super Bowl tonight?
We are not.
Heck no.
No?
I'm not a big fan of either team, so.
Yeah, us either.
We definitely want to see the Patriots go down, though.
I don't know. I'm picking them to win, though.
Oh, well, fuck you,
See,
Bill.
that's where I'm leaning. I'm leaning Patriots as well, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not watching it because I don't care.
Come on, they cheated our Eagles out of the Super Bowl in 2004.
You're talking to a guy from Kansas, so Kansas City Chiefs are my if they're not, I don't care.
You got our former coach. We're outside of Philly, so you got our big red out there. While we still have you guys, Jason, you have a very big Schmodown movie trivia Schmodown match coming up with Scott Mance for the championship, tag team championships. How are you feeling going into that?
I'm feeling a little nervous, but I'm feeling pretty confident because Scott Mance and I think the argument could be made, are the best team in the Schmodown championship. And I don't mean that best team is we know everything. I mean best team is we work together the best. We fill each other's gaps in knowledge very well. We're, I think, better than most of the other teams there. And it's interesting, the team we're going against, Team Patriots, we only really have to fight one man. We really only have to stop Jeff Snyder. We don't even have to worry about JTE. And the last time we faced a one-person team, basically ETC, we blew them out of the water. So
yeah, you sure did.
I'm nervous, but also I'm very confident. I will tell you this: no matter how it goes down, I know it's going to be very close. I'm just telling you right now. I know it'll be within 3 to 2 points. Whoever goes down won't lose by much. It's going to be a fight all the way to the end.
So Jason and Scott Mance, Bill, they are Team Trek.
Ooh.
So,
right.
Both of these gentlemen have a vast knowledge of all things Star Trek. A couple shows ago, we had Robert Meyer Burnett on the show, and we talked a lot of Star Trek there, too. So Bill is a very big Trekkie himself. Bill,
Yes.
do you have any Star Trek-related questions you'd want to ask Jason?
Ooh. I don't know. You put me on the spot here. I'm not sure offhand.
Or Jason, what are you thinking about this Star Trek Discovery show that's floundering as the days go by?
Okay, and I'm worried that it's not going to happen.
That's what I said on our last show.
Yeah, they keep pushing it back, and they keep making all these announcements, and they released that trailer, I believe, last week.
Or they claim to be in production, but they're still hiring writing staff.
Yeah, they're still hiring writing staff. So
Yeah.
I'm like, how are you hiring writers? How are you shooting if nothing's if stuff isn't written?
They just got together and shot that trailer.
Yeah, I don't know. This I'm very worried about. I was, to be honest with you, when they first made the announcement and they said everything and they showed everything, I was like, oh, this is great. But every time they've pushed it back,
Yeah.
I've become more and more worried, and now I'm worried to the point that it's just going to go into developmental hell and it'll never be released.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Star Trek fan, and for me to say something like that,
It's
that
tough.
means it's some trouble.
Yeah, it's tough. I agree with you. I mean, I was saying a lot of the same things. The new trailer that just came out, I think it was earlier this past week, was really just nothing more than, some pre-production, like digital, screenshots mixed in with really just some more pre-production. There was I think they showed very briefly like the set, in production, and there was
And a quick uniform, yeah.
Yeah, the uniform, and then I think the last thing was just you heard the cloaking device of a Klingon vessel at the very end.
I didn't catch that. Well done.
Yeah, that's at the
Qapla'.
very end. Qapla', yes. Thank you, Sean. You hear that at the very end, and one thing that I was reading is that the series might hone in on the Federation Klingon alliance that was there before Kittimer and all that stuff. So I mean, we'll have to see. But like you said, I mean, everything's been pushed back so much, and I really feel that here we are 50 years later. J.J. Abrams didn't have a good take on how to start off and lead the movies, even though they did well. But I feel like if there is shifts in writing and stuff like that, do they really have a good grasp on what Star Trek is, and ultimately now what it will be? And if they don't have a good idea of what that exactly looks like, then everything keeps getting pushed back, and nothing's going to be, there's no buzz that's going to be, generated enough for a new fan base, and old Trek heads like us are just going to be sitting here waiting, and we'll just we care less when it actually comes out then, and it'll just be something that we'll watch, but we won't.
Well, the most interesting challenge the new Star Trek has to be able to compete with shows like Game of Thrones, Westworld, The Expanse. Like they have got to. Star Trek can't just repeat everything we've seen before. Like they just can't give us TNG again in that same style.
Yeah,
they've got to step up to the game. And that's why for the longest time before they announced it Discovery, when my friends and I would talk about who should showrun the next Star Trek, I would always make the argument for the people that run Black Mirror, because Black Mirror does this thing like Twilight Zone, which was a show that was on the air when Star Trek was on the air.
Yeah.
That Star Trek was always at its best when it held up a mirror to society, and Black Mirror is the show that does that very well. And I think if you took those writers and gave them Star Trek, gave them the world of Star Trek, they would kick it in the ass. The other problem that people have with Star Trek is people are too precious with it. And Star Trek a lot of times needs a kick in the ass. And that's why the J.J. Abrams first movie worked so well, is because it's the perfect kick in the ass for Star Trek.
Absolutely.
Now, the problem is they just repeated it in the second movie, and that's where it kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
But I don't know. To me, I want the next Star Trek show to be like The Expanse. If you see that show on Sci-Fi,
I did just watch that the other night. Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
New Star Trek needs to be like The Expanse. Or new Star Trek needs to be like Battlestar Galactica on acid. Like that's what the new Star Trek needs to be.
Yeah, I mean, Star Trek's great. Acid can be great. I mean, sounds like a great trip to me.
Yeah, put those two hands together.
Well, because the old Star Trek was all about like colors and 60s and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so you kind of be out there. Like, I don't know. It's interesting too because I've said for years that I can't believe that nobody's made the Starfleet Academy TV show, because that seems like the perfect idea.
You could make it for streaming so easy with like 5 sets.
Yeah, and you know what? I feel like right now, looking back, it's like with the way that movies work now, and Jason, I don't know if you agree with this, but after just talking about shared universes and stuff like that, don't you wish we could have gone back to when, Next Generation was overlapping DS9, and DS9 was then starting to overlap Voyager, even though DS9 and Voyager never actually cross paths on the screen, really. But don't
They did in the pilot of Voyager.
Yeah. But don't you wish now, like in a shared universe sense, I mean, we had so many Next Generation movies. Don't you wish now we could have had that shared universe with those series where, you just have all these different angles and overarching stories that, could have really contributed to a pretty cool franchise of movies?
I agree with you, and it's interesting to think because I bring this up all the time where people talk about shared universes, and people always forget that Star Trek was the first cinematic shared universe. Like 2 TV shows and movies were all connected and all reference each other. Now I wish they would have crossed over more.
Yeah.
And fun fact, before DS9, Star Trek Deep Space Nine did its 7th season, there was talks of not doing the 7th season and ending DS9 in a giant war movie
that would have been
that would
great.
be tied into TNG.
That would have been great because that ending season of DS9, that season that you were just referencing. I mean that was really for me. After watching Next Generation as a kid, growing up, it was a little slow start for me with DS9. I felt the stories, in the early part were a little rough, a little cumbersome at times, but the stories definitely started to overarch as the seasons progressed. Then you got a lot more of the 2-part episodes, and there was a lot of
DS9, by the way, is my favorite Trek.
Looking back now, it is for me. It's the stories and the storylines. The seasons. I mean, I'm looking back on Netflix, and I watched the episodes. I'm like, damn, there was this many episodes in a season. But what you were just talking about, the whole, Dominion War and stuff like that was taking place. I mean, it was just like it was the build up that you wanted, and you're like, damn, I just want to see this play out on the big screen. First Contact, dabbled a little bit with it, and then. You got a little bit more in in Insurrection and stuff like that a little bit, but
I agree with you. I think that type of movie should have been what they made instead of Star Trek Nemesis, which was the TNG's final movie, where they just made it this adventure where the Enterprise E on a wedding trip goes to Romulus for no reason and talks to Tom Hardy.
Yeah,
and you're just like, Tom Hardy's great, but what are you doing? Like. Imagine, because at that time, even Voyager was off the air.
Right.
And Captain Janeway has a cameo in Nemesis. But, imagine if they had done, this giant, Dominion War, conclusion movie instead of Nemesis and had all the captains in it. It would have been nuts. People would have gone crazy with it. And I guarantee you it would have been one of the highest grossing TNG movies because, fun fact, before that movie, that was the rule when people used to have the rule where it was only the even Star Trek movies are good.
Yeah.
Because Star Trek 2, Wrath of Khan, Star Trek 4, Voyage Home, Star Trek 6, Undiscovered Country, and then First Contact, and then Nemesis was the next even member. But most people agree that Nemesis is not that great. So, come on.
I agree with you there. So I think we're in agreement that had such a an event come together. I mean, I think that would have really solidified Star Trek's future, and we wouldn't be in such of a rebuild process as it is right now.
Agree. We would have another television show would have happened after Enterprise if a movie like that had happened and been successful.
Yeah, because now anymore, the Discovery show. I don't know what its foundation is going to be, but all these series and stuff, even the fan-made ones, now they turn to novels that no one ever really reads, and except Robert Meyer Burnett.
Well, it's interesting to me because the biggest problem with Discovery was my biggest problem with Rogue One, because I was in the middle on Rogue One.
Yeah,
I don't need any more prequels. I don't.
Yeah, you want to see the story progress.
Why do I need a movie about an event that I already know how it ends?
Right.
And Discovery is the same thing. And Star Trek and Star Wars are both so prime for sequels. I want to know what happens after Return of the Jedi. What the hell happened for 30 years in there? How did Luke lose his Jedi school? That's what I want to know about.
Yeah.
And same with Star Trek. I want to know what happens to that universe after this because they left the Star Trek universe in the TV shows with this giant Dominion war. Like, we settled that,
Yeah.
and then what is that universe? That war changes that's a World War II level war in that universe.
Yeah.
Everything would change. So
we'll just wait 20
let's go
years
back-
and we'll get the prequel for it.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, we're going to get you guys going here. We're going to finish up some of our other stories that we have because we want to get home and watch the Super Bowl.
There you go.
When can we expect Jupiter Jet to be hitting our comic book store shelves?
Well, if you go over to our Twitter right now, superjetcomics.com, you can actually pre-order the trade, which is really great. The single will be coming out digitally and in your local comic book stores probably in the last quarter of 2017. We do not have an official release date right now, which means that the trade paperback will be coming out sometime in early 2018. Yeah.
But if you go over to jupiterjetcomics.com, you can get all kinds of cool things. We have prints from Wonder Woman artist Nicholas Scott, and you'll pre-order the book basically because you're going to get it now because we fund it. But we can always use more, and we'll autograph the copy for you.
Ooh, I think we're gonna have to pick that up then. Ashley, where can we find you online?
You can find me all over the internet at Ashley V Robinson, and along with Mr. Jason Inman, I co-host the Geek History Lesson podcast at geekhistorylesson.com, and we do a bunch of cool nerdy videos at youtube.com/Jawin, Jawin, including our Flash and DCTV recap shows, which are now back and running.
I am a subscriber to that channel.
Thank you.
No problem. And is there anything else that you guys wanted to get out there while we have you on the line?
No, just you can follow me on Twitter at Jawin, Jawin, and every weekday you can find my stupid mug on DC All Access. Hey!
All right. I'm sure we're going to have a lot more
awesome
sad DC movie stories coming up soon, the way that's
I think you're going to be surprised. I actually think the next 4 months is going to be happy DC movies.
You got to pump us up, Jason. We got to get more hope.
With Lego Batman movie, which could be possibly the best Batman movie of all time, and Wonder Woman, I think we're going to get some good news.
I'm hoping. We need a breath of fresh air breathed into here.
Well, from me personally, thank you. On behalf of Sean as well. We want to thank you guys for calling in on this fine Sunday. We hope you enjoyed yourselves, and we'll catch up with you guys soon, hopefully.
Thank you for having us. Enjoy the Super Bowl, and remember, keep in your heads, the Kansas City Chiefs should have been in us.
All right, guys. Have a good rest of your weekend.
Take care.
All right, Jason Inman and Ashley V. Robinson. Man, I feel like every time we have a guest on, you always find a way to get the Trek conversation in there. My warp factor's going off the charts.
Oh man, we're rolling right along, huh?
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
A lot of DC stuff. Whether the camp that you're in, if you're happy with the way that the movies have gone, if you're on the fence about it, or if you're a little worried about some of the news that's coming out. The movies have been profitable, but the fan response and critic ratings haven't been there. So like Jason was saying, with the way that the MCU started out, the fourth movie with Thor really did turn that franchise around. So hopefully with Wonder Woman coming out very soon, that can do the same thing.
Yeah. But we got to hurry up here. We got to flip the script, and we got to... Oh, paper cut! Do we need to go into this first?
No,
we
talked
that?
Ben Affleck,
right,
so we can skip over
skip
that one. Go ahead, read this first one.
Where at?
The Star Wars one.
In bold black there?
Yeah.
All right. So the official title for the Star Wars Episode 8 has been revealed as The Last Jedi. StarWars.com broke the news with a short announcement saying, we have the greatest fans in this or any other galaxy. In appreciation of the fans, we wanted them to be the first to know that the title of the next chapter in the Skywalker saga shall be titled Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Ooh.
The Last Jedi is written and directed by Rian Johnson and produced by Kathleen Kennedy and Ram Bergman, sounds like a porn actor, and executively produced by J.J. Abrams, who sounds like a Jew, and Jason McGatlin and Tom Kamkowski, who sound Polish. And so...
we just lost all of our subscribers.
Well, there goes any donations to the Anne Frank house this year. Yeah, that's cool.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Oh, so do I. Good thing we're on internet radio.
Oh, man.
Which is cool news. So we got that title going on there.
Now,
and,
does that mean there's...
Did you see that?
I did see that.
I just hit the button on my chair and I almost went down 2 floors.
Bill, does that mean there's only one Jedi left, or is Jedi a collective term here for more than one?
That's a good statement.
Yeah, there is no such thing as Jedi, so Jedi can be plural.
Jedi.
It's singular and plural.
I mean, is Rey the last Jedi, or are they going to focus on the last few remaining Jedi? The title and the picture they released, it's all in red lettering,
right?
Which could be a nefarious kind of thing here.
Yeah,
that's a good word, nefarious.
Yeah,
a malevolent. So we'll
Nosferatu.
We'll have to wait till December 2018 to find out, what that really does mean. But we do have Han Solo coming out later this year, so yeah. Or no. I'm sorry. I totally just lied to you.
Why?
Episode 8 comes out this December, and Han Solo
I was all ready.
We flip-flopped. So, we'll only have to wait 10 more months to find out.
Cool.
Dave Bautista has confirmed his appearance,
Oh, yeah.
Nobody talks to my friends like that.
Oh.
His appearance in Avengers Infinity War via a tweet while responding to the fact that shooting started on January 23rd and that he still hadn't received a script. How can you not get a script for a movie that's already starting, Bill?
I don't know.
Is he just going to wing it?
Maybe.
I mean, if you're Groot, you can get away with it.
I'm Groot. Well, I mean, now that it's baby Groot, I mean, he's even less, right? He's like,
yeah.
Okay. I'm going to skip that. A synopsis and full cast list has been revealed for Marvel's Black Panther. The upcoming film will star Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan, Academy Award winner Lupita Nyong'o, Denai Guerrera, Martin Freeman, Daniel Kaluuya, Academy Award nominee Angela Bassett. I'm running out of breath. Academy Award winner Forrest Whitaker and Andy Serkis. The additional cast members include Latita Wright, Winston Duke, Florence Kasumba, Sterling K. Brown, and John Kanai, and
Black Panther party.
Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Michael Jordan minus the B. We have Donald Pleasance, Apollo Creed, and
Abraham Lincoln.
And Abraham Lincoln. So that rounds out the star-studded cast.
That's a giant cast.
Giant, phenomenal. The synopsis reads, Black Panther follows T'Challa, who, after the events of Captain America's Civil War, returns home to the isolated technology-advanced African nation of Wakanda to take his place as king. However, when an old enemy reappears on the radar, T'Challa's mettle as king and Black Panther is tested when he is drawn into a conflict that puts the entire fate of Wakanda and the world at risk. Rated PG-13. So that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Especially when you read it like that and that kind of...
You're kind of like the old movie trailer guy. In a world where
the
Black Panther has taken over Wakanda.
Rated R.
Yeah, definitely.
Bruce Willis. Denzel Washington. In Black Panther.
Ooh.
Rated R.
That'd be a totally different movie.
Right?
It's that next February that comes out, right?
Next February.
Can't wait.
Black Panther.
He was so good in Civil War, I can't wait to see him get his own standalone movie.
Yeah.
It's going to be phenomenal. Incredible.
Ridiculous. Any other topics you want to go over here real quick? I know we got a few, but...
yeah, just do this last one because I have a cool sound clip for it.
Which one? The next one or the last one?
The next one.
The next one. As the search for the new director for the Flash film continues... The WB has hired writer Joby Harold for a one-page rewrite of the script. The move appears to be taking the on-hold film in a new direction.
Yeah, I mentioned this a little bit while we had Ashley and Jason on the line. They're totally reworking that script.
Yeah.
They've lost 2 directors. Things aren't looking very good for that film. Jason still holds out hope that the direction the DC EU is, moving positively. So, somebody who works for DC All Access, I guess we gotta take his opinion with a little more credence.
Now, before we get to the top 10, do you want me to bring up the special news?
Sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So, let me just cue this up. So, coming up next month, Sean Harrigan of the Cinescape podcast will travel to the state and city of New York in a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity where he, on the red carpet for the new movie, Logan, premieres, and Sean will interview none other than an actor whose name you probably know, but don't know yet because I haven't said it until I say it. It is Heath Ledger. No, it's...
Wrong movie.
Sorry, he's dead. Wrong movie. It is an actor who you know, who's played Wolverine. And that actor, who I still haven't said yet, he was in the movie Kate and Leopold. What happened to the music? Hugh Jackman, Logan, Sean Harrigan. This March, Cinescape podcast interview production, live on the red carpet, once in a lifetime opportunity. Check it out here through Toxic Radio. They can't see my head moving on. But yes, you have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, Sean.
I do.
You're going up to New York City. Tell us what you're going to talk to the man about.
Oh, my
Hugh
goodness.
Jackman, brother. He was in Kate and Leopold. He was in X2.
Les Miserables.
He was in Les Mis with the Arabla that we don't pronounce. Ooh, brother, what are you going to talk to the man, the myth, the legend? Oh, yeah, you're going to talk to the Hugh Jackman. You're going to talk to the Wolverine. You're going to talk to Logan, man. He's going to be up there with Professor X, man, drinking his cup of coffee. What are you going to say to the man? Freak out.
What I'm going to do, brother, is I'm going to ask that man, why haven't you put on the yellow Wolverine suit yet?
Oh, yeah, you tell him, brother, and ask him, why didn't he make a Kate and Leopold 2? Because you know what, at the end of Kate and Leopold 1, he went back. He went back to the past, and he had Meg Ryan. You know what? I want to know what he did in the past with Meg Ryan. You know, did he alter some kind of timeline where that produced another movie that we weren't unaware about, man? I want you to bring that question up to him right there.
My Uncle Joe also wants me to ask him if he gets stopped at airport security by metal detectors. So, yeah, I am going to be interviewing Hugh Jackman at the press junket for Logan next Saturday in Manhattan. I was a very fortunate person to be able to win Screen Rant's contest for the
They thought you were a
event.
cancer patient, right?
No. That was another guy.
Gotcha.
But yeah, they're going to be sending me up to New York. They're putting me up in a hotel for the night. I get to see Logan next Saturday night with the press and everybody.
Nice.
There's a reception afterwards in the hotel lobby, and then Sunday is the junket, and I will get to sit down with Hugh and have an interview with him. I have questions prepared already.
Nice.
So hopefully I can get some cool pictures.
Yeah, maybe any of our listeners that want to shoot us, something
if
on
you
Twitter
have any
or
questions
Facebook
that you want us to
we can,
ask or want me to ask.
Yeah.
So I'm fairly certain that I'll be able to get any video that is shot with Screen Rant and be able to share out to you guys, whether we can put it up on our YouTube channel or social media, Facebook, Twitter, things like that. But it will be, highly covered, at least by myself, because I'm going to be taking as many pictures as I possibly can. The funny thing is, the day that I had found out, I was actually on my way home from the hospital because I was in a car accident that day.
Right.
So, I'm on Route 1 on the way home, and I get the email, and my fiance is in the middle of talking, and I get it. I'm like, shut the fuck up, She's, you just tell me to shut the fuck up. I'm like,
You're like, yeah.
I'm like, no, look at this email that I just got, and I wrote the guy back. I'm like, is this for real? And he's like, yeah. And we've been going back and forth, and they were gonna fly me out, but I told them how close we are to New York, and that I could just take the train up. So they're getting my train schedules all together. They're getting my tickets. Yeah. They got the hotel booked. And I will be leaving Saturday around 3 o'clock. So I'll get checked in, get everything going.
So we'll probably have an update of a movie spoiler review on Monday?
I would have to ask to see when if there's any embargoes on it, when that kind of thing is allowed to be put out. We don't want to ruffle any feathers.
Maybe we do.
No, we don't.
Oh,
we
no?
definitely don't.
No.
I'm not going to jail
Okay.
or getting fined or anything like that.
Okay.
But anything that I can share from the events that I'm going to be going to, pictures, video, anything like that, I will certainly put out on our Facebook, our Twitter, Instagram, things like that for you guys to check out while I am there. And then, like I said, if there's any available video that Screen Rant does shoot and that I can share out with you guys, we will also have that up anywhere that we are able to. So I am extremely, insanely excited for this incredible opportunity, and I'm still kind of pinching myself to see, if this was all just a dream. I'm hoping that Hugh calls me a certain name, which I'm going to play you right here.
You egg-sucking piece of gutter trash.
If you get him to say that, that's going to be awesome.
I'm wearing a brand new Cinescape shirt. Bill has one too that he, I guess, didn't feel like he had to wear today. But, I should have ordered Hugh one and gotten him to wear it in a photo, or maybe I can just take it off and have him wear it for a photo. I don't think he's large. I think he might be a little bit bigger than that.
You want him to stretch this one out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I can take that one with me.
I can have a Wolverine,
That's a good idea. Okay. So, yeah, I'll bring that one along. I'll see if he can put it on. Maybe I can get him to do a little show intro for us. This is, should I get him to do it in the Wolverine voice or his regular Australian accent? What do you think? Maybe one of each.
Always go Australian.
Australian?
Yeah.
Oi, mate.
Oi, mate.
This is the Hugh Jackman. So, yeah, look for all that stuff, like I said, next Saturday. And, I'll share that along, whatever I am allowed to. We also have another quick announcement to make. We are, we're going to be doing a live show from Nostalgia Fest. We had Eric Cohen, who runs the event, on our show a couple weeks ago. We're going to be there. We have a contest to bring you guys. One lucky fan of our show is going to get the opportunity to win signed autographs from every celebrity in attendance. Eric gave me this giveaway to bring to you guys because he had such a good time on our show. So we're going to be announcing the details on how you can win that, but keep in mind that you must be in attendance at Nostalgia Fest to claim your prize. So you can get your tickets at nosfest.com. Get your tickets today, and we will let you guys know how you can win that prize. People like Dustin Diamond, Tia Carrere, Gary and Jake Busey, Vanessa Angel. There's so many 80s and 90s icons that are going to be there, and this is something really cool for you to add to your own man cave or personal collection. Put them up on the wall, enjoy them, and do other things that I won't mention to them.
Yeah.
And our last thing that we're going to do today, as it is Super Bowl Sunday, Bill and I have made our top 10 lists of our favorite football movies. So, Bill, why don't you start this one off first? Give me your number 10. We're starting to run low on time, so we're not going to go into why we love each one, but we're going to quickly go over them. Bill, what's your number 10
I
favorite
got
football
Invincible, the Philadelphia story about Vince Papale.
Okay, very nice. I have Adam Sandler's remake of The Longest Yard at my number 10. It was okay.
All right.
I think I got the DVD from Blockbuster used for $3.
Number 9, I got Jerry Maguire.
Okay.
Classic movie. Show Me the Money.
Show Me the Money.
Yeah.
I have Matthew McConaughey's We Are Marshall. Very inspiring story about the tragic deaths of the Marshall College football team.
Inspiring and tragic.
Yeah, it's inspiring, from the ashes rises the phoenix, So it was a good movie. I liked it, Bill, okay?
Yeah, if you like setting things on fire with jet fuel. All right, moving on.
Man.
Number 8. I got Brian's song.
I don't like that song.
All right, well.
Brian's song. I have The Replacements, the Keanu
Okay.
Reeves version, Gene
All right.
Hackman. My number 7, I had Invincible in that slot.
Okay, my number 7, I got the Water Boy.
Okay.
Ooh.
Good one. What's your number 6?
Number 6, The Last Boy Scout.
The Last Boy Scout.
Did you ever see that?
No.
No? It's got Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans in it. And a little fun fact, guess who wrote this movie? The Marvel director.
John Favreau.
No, Shane Black.
Shane Black.
Yeah.
Huh, I was close.
Yeah. Check it out, though. It's a good movie.
Where are we at? 6?
Yeah.
I have Friday Night Lights.
Okay.
Good movie.
Number 5, I got Rudy.
Rudy
Rudiger.
I have him higher up on my list.
Yeah, well.
I have The Waterboy at my number 5.
Okay.
There.
My number 4, I got Little Giants.
Ooh, classic. This is a movie that you can't help but watch every couple years, and it takes you back to being a kid.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies that you just will always love no matter how old you get.
Right.
My number 4 was Jamie Foxx's Any Given Sunday.
Okay.
Pacino.
Yeah.
He's the coach.
Hooah! Got a great ass.
Willie Beeman. My number 3 is where I had Rudy in there.
Okay.
Rudy Rudiger.
My number 3, I had Varsity Blues.
Nice.
Yes. Number 2, Remember the Titans.
Remember the Titans was also my number. And son of a bitch. You know what? I forgot to put Varsity Blues on my list.
Well, fucked up.
Take
No. You're already done.
Take Longest Yard off. Move everything else down and put Varsity Blues at my number 4.
Okay.
Rearranging.
All right.
We're on the fly here.
All right. We're going to, all right, doing that. And my number 1. My number 1, you had it on the list. The Replacements.
The Replacements, number 1.
Number 1, because when I think of a football movie, man.
Falco.
It comes on the television set and I can watch it anytime, anywhere. You know what that movie is?
The Replacements,
It's
man.
The Replacements, man.
I had Little Giants in my number 1
Okay, I
spot.
knew you would.
Bill guessed it last night without me confirming or denying the fact, but he did guess correctly. So good job there.
Thank you. And I do want to throw out these honorable mention football movies that I had. I had the garbage-picking, field goal kicking Philadelphia
man.
Phenomenon.
Nice.
Also,
Tony Danza.
Tony Danza, man. I had Game Plan, which was the movie with The Rock.
Is that what we were trying to figure out? Okay.
Yeah. Wildcats, Goldie Hawn from '86. The movie Radio.
I should have
good
put that.
movie.
I'd like
Yeah.
that one too. That's a good one.
And Draft Day.
That's a good one.
Come on.
And Draft
And
Day.
Draft Day.
I tried watching it, but I got bored after 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's an okay movie.
So, those are our favorite football-related movies. Why don't you guys go onto our Twitter page, let us know what your list would look like, and see how it stacks up against some of ours. We are going to get out of here. We're going to get home in time for kickoff.
Real quick. Kickoff. Give me your predictions for tonight, Sean Harrigan.
I think Tom Brady's time has come
Yeah.
to lose.
Oh!
I'm taking the Falcons tonight. That offense is high-powered. Their defense,
It is high-powered.
Their defense is, nothing to shake a stick at.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the Belichick to go down tonight.
All right, well, I'm calling it. I'm calling the Patriots, man. 38-30 over the Falcons.
38-30.
Tom Brady has scored no less than 3 touchdowns in Super Bowl games, so I'm going to go with the GOAT, man. All right, Tom Brady tonight. But, however, if things do happen to change in the Falcons, Julio Jones is my guy for MVP.
Not a bad pick there. Not
All
a
right.
bad pick. For myself, Sean Harrigan, for Bill Tozzi, for Mike Francolino, for our special guests, Jason Inman and Ashley V. Robinson, we wanted to thank you guys for listening. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Check out all the commercials and trailers that are going to be dropping. We will be back in 2 weeks for our next show. Have a good one, and we'll see you next time.
Deuces.